Blog Talk Radio.
Last night I buried old memories that you left behind. I knew I had to move on if I wanted to survive. So I just buried your old memories alive. I've tried to kill my love for you with no success in sight. I've tried to kill your memory, it refuses to die. It keeps hanging on for dear life. So I just buried that old memory alive. I went to a funeral last night. I buried old memories that you left behind. I knew I had to move on if I were to survive. So I just buried your old memories alive. I went to a funeral last night. I buried old memories that you left behind. I knew I had to move on if I wanted to survive. So I just buried that old memory alive. I just buried your memory alive.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Friday night, and this is Off the Chain. I'm your host, Yvonne Mason, and I am going to tell you what. Tonight, this whole week has just been not only off the chain, but off the charts. I've had some of the most amazing indie music artists the past couple of months and this week, and I am in awe. I am fan-struck. I am starstruck. I can't talk tonight. But before we get into our guest, I have to do a little housekeeping here. We have added yet a new layer to our archive shows. Y'all all know that the show goes up into archives, and then it goes on to iTunes and YouTube and FM.com and TuneIn Radio and iHeartRadio and Spotify and Podcast.com, Spreaker, SoundCloud. Where else does it go? There's so many I can't keep up. But today we added a new layer. Today we are now on Reverb Nation. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this show is on Reverb Nation. I am uploading the podcast from YouTube, so it's taking me a while. I'm also uploading one song from the music artists that I have on my show simply so you can listen to the song and then go find them and buy their music. Their song is not for music on that site, and you cannot download it, but you can listen to it, and then you can go buy their music. Yes, I'm evil, I know, but that's how we roll here. I want to welcome you all to the show tonight, and I want to tell you that this show is your show, ladies and gentlemen. You, the listener, you, my guest. It's not my show. I am just the facilitator, and because it is your show and because you all are so wonderful we have reached 160,000 listeners between the show itself and all the podcasts. By the end of the year, I expect us to have 200,000 listeners. We are heard in over 200 countries. So if you want to be on the show, contact me on offthechainradio@yahoo.com. You can be on the show two ways. You can be on the show as a guest, or you can send me an ad. I'm not in it to get rich. It's not my shtick. I just want everybody to be successful. And the way you do that is you contact me, and for $10 a month, I'll do your ad for a month. If I have to reschedule shows, because most of you know my husband is very ill, your ad goes with the show. I don't cheat you out of anything. And speaking of that, two of my wonderful, wonderful sponsors I will start the night off with. One of them is author Diane Mote, and she has a series. It's called the Sam Holden series. The second in the series is called Dogfight, and it goes like this. Wherever a helpless animal whimpers in the dark and wherever the system fails to protect an animal, she'll be there, and she isn't giving up anytime soon. So all of you have been warned. When Sam Holden receives a tip about a brutal dogfighting ring, she embarks on some of her most dangerous acts of vigilantism yet. The monster known as the puppeteer will circle Sam's world as she unknowingly circles his. While they chase each other, will Sam put those that she loves most in harm's way in order to bust up the ring? So with time running out and animals in need, the dangerous life that Sam has created begins to eclipse any other life that she could ever lead. Go to Kindle, ladies and gentlemen, on Amazon, look up Diane Mote and look up Dogfight, and if you haven't yet started the series, start with Doggone. And Australia, I want to thank y'all. Because of this ad and because y'all are our biggest listening base, you put her number one in Australia on her series. So thank you, guys. The second co-sponsor I have, which I absolutely adore, her name is Cece Chamberlain, and she has a podcast called Inside Your Life with Cece. It is a motivational, passionate conversation. She interviews people who are living their true purpose, and it doesn't matter if you're a boxer, an author, a garbage collector, a music artist. It doesn't matter. Cece strives to give one hope for a brighter day with her inspirational words. So download, subscribe, and listen as Cece guides you to pursue your dreams for you to live your best life possible. Her wonderful show is available on podcast.com, iTunes, Google Play, and everywhere else podcasts are available. Now that we've got that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, the guest that I have tonight, I want to be her when I grow up. And you will understand why when I introduce her. Her name is Margie Singleton, and she is an indie music artist. She has been around the block several times. She is 82 years young. And this woman, the song you just heard called I Buried Your Memory Alive took me back 62 years ago when I was a little girl and I was in my daddy's Oldsmobile and we're going down the road and my mother saying, CL, turn off that honky-tonk music. That is as old school as it gets, and I love it. She was born Margaret Louis Ebey, and she was born October the 5th, 1935. She's known professionally as Margie Singleton, and she is an American country music singer and songwriter. In the 1960s, she was a popular duet and solo recording artist, working with country stars George Jones and Faron Young, and she was the first female artist to do an entire album with George Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Singleton had her biggest hit with Faron Young called Keeping Up with the Joneses in 1964. I remember that song well. She managed a successful solo career in the 60s, recording 9 top 40 Billboard Country hits, including a top 5. In addition to being a solo and duet star, she also sang as a backup vocalist with the Jordanaires, and I remember them so well. Numerous performers recorded many of her songs, including Teresa Brewer, Tammy, Wynette, and my all-time favorite, Charley Pride. In 1964, Singleton teamed up with singer Faron Young, and together they recorded the song Keeping Up with the Joneses. That year, the song reached the country top 5 and became her biggest hit. Now, at the age of 82 years young, Margie Singleton is back with a new single and video for her song, Jesus Is My Pusher. And again, I want to be her when I grow up. Welcome, Miss Margie, and welcome to the show.
Well, my goodness, I'm telling you, I had to think about who you're talking about there, girl. You got yourself educated, as some people say.
And we hadn't even touched the surface. We just getting started.
We're just on the surface.
I am telling you. And ladies and gentlemen, you will hear me calling this beautiful creature Miss Margie because I am from the state of Georgia, born, raised, and reared. And if I called her Margie, my grandmother would get up out of her grave and kick my behind because we respect people with age. You understand elders perfectly. Yes, ma'am. See, I say that too.
Well, you know, my husband was Leon Ashley. I touched on it before the show. Leon wrote and recorded and put it out on his own label and made a #1 hit out of Laura, What's He Got That I Ain't Got in 1967. And he's from Georgia. And, you know, this past year, because we had a farm in Georgia, but I live here, but we did a lot of work in Georgia, and I just won the inducted into the Atlanta Country Music Hall of Fame this last year. Which,
were
and you're
you
from Georgia?
Really?
Yes, I was. I was just so blessed with that because that's where he was from, and they were going to induct him, and he got sick, and so I felt like I got it for him, you know. But
what part of Georgia was Mr. Leon from?
Well, actually, you may never heard of it, but Mansfield, Georgia. It's around Covington, Georgia, 45 miles east.
I know exactly where Mansfield is. Yes.
That's
I know that part of the town. I know that part of the world like the back of my hand.
That's incredible. My goodness, my stepson, Leon Jr., still lives there, he and his family, and he's very sick now. You was talking about congestive heart failure a while ago. He's 59 years old, and he has congestive heart failure and just went on dialysis, which is a sad thing.
And that, yeah, because my husband's in stage 3 kidney failure, and it's from the diabetes and the congestive heart failure. It all runs together.
Yep, yeah.
But it is such a small world. See, ladies and gentlemen, it gets smaller every day.
It does. It absolutely does. I've met so many people on, you know, I got my first iPhone, so to speak, when Leon was very sick, and I didn't know how to use it or anything, but I wanted it to take some pictures of him and do some little videos before, because we knew he was terminal, and it's been a hard thing for me to learn this stuff. You know, it's all Greek to me, but everybody says, well, you're doing good, but I get so confused and mixed up trying to do stuff I can't use the computer. Oh, don't tell me that, because, girl, you doing what you're doing and coming on with all that stuff, you got it.
Look, I still get confused, and I've been into technology for years, but there's still days that I want to pick my stuff out in the yard.
Girl, I know it. It's terrible. And you know, these people are crazy. They're always trying to do things to you. I'll get a message from one of my Facebook friends, and it's strange. It's a strange message. It's they say, "Hey, are you there?" Then another message later, if I don't answer, "How you doing?" And I know and I bit on it the first time it happened, and they carried me all the way to sending them $1,500 so they could give me $100,000. But that
you say I don't think
tax.
so.
I said, I don't think. I said, get out of my life. And from then on, but every week I'll get 2 or 3 people like that. It's crazy.
When I was in college and studying criminal justice and studying cybercrime, my professor said, Yvonne, for every mousetrap that we build, the crooks build a bigger mouse, and that's true.
That's incredible, isn't it? I mean, there's just crooks everywhere. Oh,
so
my goodness.
let's go back into history, because I have a piece of history on the other end of my phone, and I want you to take me down memory lane and tell me how in the world you were the first female artist to record. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not talking 4, 5, 6 songs. Back during the day, on an album, there were 14 to 16 songs, and you were the first female to record an entire album with George Jones. How in the world did that happen? And it had to have been a time in your life that you'll never forget.
Of course not. But, neither one of us, George wasn't George Jones then that he became to be. I mean, he was George Jones, but he became being George Jones, later on, the all-time greatest artist in country music. And I felt, at that time we were just we were peers, and we were both recording for the same label, and they just put us together. And we were both from the Louisiana Hayride. He down there, that's where we met, and we knew each other, and the label just put us together, and it worked out real good. And I happen to have written a couple of songs on that album. And you know what? This past year, in this year here, I think it has been since this new year. At times passing so fast, I just don't know what time it is. But Bear Family Records in Germany, you're familiar with Bear Family, I'm sure. They put out these huge box sets. They put out a box set of George Jones, his hits from 1956, I think, to 1963, the Star Day years. And it has 6 CDs with 33 songs on each one. It has a hardback book in there with 179 pages of autographs, autobiographies, and biographies and pictures. And I have about 6 pages in there. And I have 14 songs in there. I just could not believe that, I just couldn't believe it. And I just am so blessed to have sung with 3 of the finest country music artists in the world. First George Jones, then Faron Young, then Leon Ashley. He was a great artist, and he had lots of hits. And we had a hit on Hanging On, he and I did, and on a song called 4 O'Clock. And we did a lot of things together, but we were separate too. And we just kind of started doing our own thing. When he did Laura, What's He Got That I Ain't Got, he was a new boy in town. He was from Atlanta. He owned 6-7 radio stations. And he decided, he saw me one day walking down the street, and he said, "Who is that?" And this person was looking down on the street from an office above 16th Avenue. And I was walking down the street with a friend, and he asked this booking agent, he said, "Who is that walking down the street?" He said, "That's Shelby Singleton's ex-wife." He said, "Well, I'm going to marry her." And see, I had never met him. Well, he had managed Jerry Lee Lewis. Now, we'll go back a little bit. He managed Jerry Lee Lewis during the time that Jerry married his 13-year-old cousin, which was a big deal. But anyway, my ex-husband, this was when I was still with him, he signed Jerry Lee to Mercury Records, and he went to Memphis to sign him. And while we were at his house, I went with him. The phone rang, and Jerry asked me to answer it, and I did, and it was Leon Ashley. And I heard his voice. Now, then he saw me on the street. And then my secretary came to me one day, and she said, "You just got to go to Tootsie's with me. You know about Tootsie's, don't you?"
Oh, yeah.
Tootsie's. Okay. You'll have to fill your listeners in on Tootsie's. But anyway, Tootsie loved Leon, and this was before I met him, not as a lover, but he was one of her boys. She took care of her singers and watched out for them. But anyway, she said, "You got to go down to Tootsie's and hear this guy." Said, "He is incredible." And I went, and he had a song all called "You Gave Me Reason to Live." And he had written it about his little son. And he and his wife were divorced, and it was a long story there. But anyway, the voice was just so incredible, and I fell in love with the man's voice. And so then, after my husband and I broke up, Shelby and I, Faron and I had the hit Keeping Up with the Joneses, and I had lost my way of making a living because I was singing background with the Jordanaires. We had 3 Jordanaires, myself, Priscilla Mitchell, which was Jerry Reed's wife, and a girl named Millie Kirkham, who did all those beautiful high notes on the songs recorded back then. And that was called the Merry Melody Singers. And so I lost all that because when my husband, Shelby, left me, well, I was out. You know, I wasn't background singing no more. So
he just took everything.
He took it all, girl. And so Faron said, "Well, all I know for you to do is just go on the road with me." And I said, "Well, good, here I am." So I did, and we toured for a good while. And Faron actually introduced me to Leon after all these chance meetings that we missed over a period of time. Faron introduced me to Leon Ashley. That was his friend. And so we met like in May, and for Christmas I went home to my family in Shreveport, and Leon followed me, came down there to meet my family, and he asked me to marry him. And he came back to Nashville, and he told Faron, he said, "You know, I'm fixing to ask Margie to marry me." He said, "Well, you know Faron's mouth. You know, you can imagine what he said. To H, you say?" He said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Well, you know, we got shows booked way ahead in advance. What are we going to do about that? She can do the shows, can't she?" Leon said, "Of course she can do the shows." And he said, "I'm going with her." So Leon and me went on the road with Faron for a while.
And when you were talking about the Louisiana Hayride, I remember watching as a child every Saturday night the Louisiana Hayride.
Oh yes, honey, that was the cradle of the stars, they called it.
Yes, it was.
Because everybody, just about everybody that came to the Grand Ole Opry had been on the Hayride. You know. And let me tell you another incredible thing about the Hayride. I'm talking you to death, and probably you don't want me to.
Yes, I do. This is history. I'm drooling here.
Oh, you're so precious. I can't lose you. You know, I meet people that I just can't lose, so you got to stay in touch with me.
Well, I've liked your Facebook page, so absolutely.
You do?
Yeah, I liked your Facebook page this morning, and I've posted, when I posted the shows, I posted them so they would go to your Facebook page.
Oh, I haven't looked today. You better send me a friend request then.
Well, I can do that too.
Okay.
Have you got two pages?
Just Margie Singleton will get it, I think, or Margie Singleton Walton. I've got a fan page, Margie Singleton. Well, my website is margiesingletonmusic.com, and they can get my things on CD Baby, or can get in touch with me on margiesingletonmusic.com. Let me tell you about the hayride now. Bear Family again, just this year, just in the past few months, released. Now this is incredible. 120 hours of live shows of the Louisiana Hayride.
Oh, my.
And it's a huge box set, and I have 11 songs on there. I'm scared to listen to them because
why?
I don't know how I sounded. Some of the songs, my first records, I can't hardly listen to. People will say, this historian called me one day and he said, I want you to do 2 of your songs that you recorded on Stardate. And he picked 2 songs out, and You're My Special Dream was one of them, and one of them was, it was a gospel song. I'll think of it in a minute. And the gospel song, I said, okay, but man, do you really want me to do that other one? And he said, yes, ma'am, I do. It's my favorite. And I listened to it, and I thought, well, Pappy Daly was head of Stardate and at that time, and he let me record with him, and I thought, what did the man see in that girl? But he must have had a little bit of vision that I might get a little bit better on down the line. But I want to tell you, I cut that song. The boy came up here. He paid for the session and everything. And we got an incredible cut on it. And it's going to be in my next country CD that I'm working on now.
Well, I can't wait for you to release it.
Yeah, I'm slow. I'm slow.
That's all right. I'm going to play I Choose You. I have this one and one more that... Yeah, I can't talk tonight because I'm an idiot. And I'm starstruck. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Off the Chain. I'm your host, Yvonne Mason, with my guest, the one and only, and the queen that I want to be when I grow up, country music artist Miss Margie Singleton, who I absolutely adore. And yes, I did send you a friend request under Margie Singleton Walton, and we're going to play I Chose You. Hold on.
You are my rock, all ages my foundation. You gave me life and freedom to choose. You are my Lord, my God, my salvation. And I'm not ashamed to tell the world I chose you. I chose you. I chose you. Father of creation. I chose you. I chose you because I wanted to. I chose you because I want to live forever. And I'm not ashamed to tell the world I chose you. You gave me strength to resist temptation and do everything according to your will. You gave me courage to stand against Satan. I stand for you, Jesus, and I always will. I chose you. I chose you, Father of creation. I chose you. I chose you because I wanted to. you because I want to live forever, and I'm not ashamed to tell the world I chose you. You gave me hope to face each new tomorrow and take every day I live one at a time. I thank you, Lord, for taking all my sorrow. I thank you, Lord, for changing this heart of mine. I chose you, Father of creation. I chose you just because I wanted to. I chose you because I want to live forever, and I'm not ashamed to tell the world I chose you. I chose you, Father of creation. I chose you just because I wanted to. I chose you because I want to live forever, and I'm not ashamed to tell the world I chose you. I'm not ashamed to tell the world I chose you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Off the Chain with your host, Yvonne Mason, and my guest, the beautiful, talented, I want to be her when I grow up, country music artist, Miss Margie Singleton, who I am awestruck with. I have such a girl crush on her. I want to be her when I grow up. That song makes me want to
It's a
just
happy song.
It is. It makes me want to dance. It makes me want to laugh. It makes me want to tap my feet.
It does.
It makes
You can't
me
hold
happy.
still, can you? Praise
It's
the Lord.
beautiful.
That's what it was meant to do. You know, God is so good. He's been so good to me. I cannot do a thing in the world but give him all praise, because I wouldn't be here today. When Leon passed away in 2013, I died with him until 2015. For 3 years, I said I'd never sing again. I would not get on stage without him. And this young fellow on Facebook, he came along and he said, I want you to do a show for your 80th birthday. I said, you're crazy. He said, nope, we're going to book it. We're going to get other stars to come and sing on it, and you're going to sing on it. I said, well, you know, I thought about it and I prayed about it, and I said, well, maybe I can. But I did, and the Lord just lifted me up from then on. He gave me these songs in this album, this CD that I Chose You is in. It's called On the Other Side of Life, the album is. And that song, On the Other Side of Life, I wrote about Leon's passing. You'll have to listen to it sometime.
We have that one to play tonight. I will be
do?
playing that one next.
Oh, okay. What about Jesus Is My Pusher? That's you know, that won the video of the year on the LA Music Awards show.
Wow. I'm saving that one for when you come back, because I am fully expecting Miss Margie
coming
Singleton.
back?
Of course you are, honey. You're going to be a regular on this show.
Oh, man, that sounds awesome. I
am not done with my hero yet. No, my idol, my icon. No, ma'am, you're regular.
You know, I have a lot of adopted children, and I think I'm just going to adopt you right here and now.
Okay.
My adoptees have a new sister. They don't even know it.
Well, there you go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have to remember, I was born in 1951, so I grew up with old country, old rock and roll, and to this day, one of my most favorite songs is Harper Valley PTA, because I can go Jeannie C. Riley on you in a heartbeat. What I did not realize is that this beautiful lady recorded it first.
Yes, Lord, that's a big story, but I don't know to get into it or not. But anyway, I did record. Tom T. Hall wrote Harper Valley PTA for me to follow Ode to Billy Joe with. I had a big hit on Ode to Billy Joe Country. Bobby Gentry recorded it, wrote it, and recorded it, but they weren't playing her record on the country stations. So Leon was my producer, and he said, we're just going to cut it country. And we changed it up, and we did it, and it was a pretty big record for me. And we were going to release Harper Valley when we did a European tour. And we got back off the plane, and we got in our vehicle and was coming home, and we heard Jeannie C. Riley singing Harper Valley PTA. And Leon went to the studio, and he said, hey, where's my tape? We left it in the vault at Columbia Studio, and it wasn't there. And he said that, well, I'm not going to name names, but he said, well, I have to name names. My ex-husband sent over there to get it, and he thought I had sent for it. And so he recorded Jeannie C. Riley with it. And I understand that she hated the song. I mean, this is secondhand news for me. And I'm proud of her for what she did. She made it a huge record, and she was beautiful and everything, and she did an awesome job on it. But what Leon did, he flew to New York the next day. He sold an album on Margie Singleton called Harper Valley PTA, 100,000 record order for an album. He came home, and we went in the studio. All we had recorded was Harper Valley PTA. We went in the studio. We wrote songs while we were in there, and Marty Robbins he told us we could rewrite Lord, You Gave Me a Mountain for a Girl, and we rewrote that. It's in that Harper Valley PTA album. And we got our album out first. And, of course, as I said, we had a standing order of 100,000 albums. So, but I didn't get the single. I didn't build Tom T's. He said he lived in a house that Jeannie bought for him. So she did. She did real well with it, and I'm proud of her. And she's my friend on Facebook, and we have, I knew it wasn't her, and it of course, it killed my record, but that's okay. God didn't want me to go that way, He
and you talking about Marty Robbins, ladies and gentlemen, this woman is just. I'm telling you, I'm fangirling here. I can't help it because she is living history, and all of you that know me know how much I love history. And this woman is living history. She was in a movie with Marty Robbins called Road to Nashville in 1968.
Yes, I sung a song, Seems You'd Never Been Gone. And that song has a kind of a history, too. You might need to play something or talk yourself before I say anything else.
No, you go right ahead.
That song, well, as I said, my husband Leon was married before, and he had a pretty tragic divorce, and I won't go. Sometimes I'll tell you privately, but his ex-wife, we were in Shreveport, Louisiana, where the hayride was, but he had a radio station there, and we moved there for the summer, and so his ex-wife called him and said, I need to see you about the kids. And so he promised to meet her in a place, and I'm telling this is the truth. When he walked in, he was already in there. where they were going to meet, and she walked in, and this record, Seemed You'd Never Been Gone, was playing. It says, I saw you for the first time in a long time today.
Yes.
And just for a moment, the years rolled away. And she was walking in there seeing her ex-husband, who evidently she still cared for the first time. And can you imagine the pain in her heart? But he didn't play it. It was on the jukebox, and somebody else played. It was coincidence that the song was playing.
Oh,
so
my.
Isn't that something? There's just so many little tales. I need all this for my book that I'm telling you, so I can want to go back and remember it.
Yes, you've got to put it. Listen, I'm co-owner of a publishing house. We'll get your book published.
Oh, well, amen. I'll get right on it.
Okay. And while you're filing that away, I'm going to play On the Other Side of Life because, ladies and gentlemen, there is a story. This is Off the Chain with your host, Yvonne Mason, and the most wonderful woman in the world, country music artist, Miss Margie Singleton. And she's my hero, so hold on and let's play On the Other Side of Life.
On the other side of life, I will be waiting. If I get there before you do, but if you happen to arrive before I do, wait on me, I'll be coming soon. I had a dream last night. I went to heaven. I was searching everywhere for you. Then I looked down at Jesus' feet and I saw you waiting there for me, just the way I prayed you'd be. Then I knew I had reached the end of life's journey. All my struggles and heartaches were through. What more could I ask than to be in heaven and spend eternity with my Jesus and you? Yes, I knew I had reached the end of life's journey. All my struggles and heartaches were through. What more could I ask than to be in heaven and spend eternity with my Jesus and you? Let it be so, let it be true, let it be, let it be all it seems to be, let it be more than just a dream. Jesus, won't you please? Jesus, won't you please?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was On the Other Side of Life by the one and only Margie Singleton. This is Off the Chain. I am your host, Yvonne Mason, with my guest, Miss Margie Singleton. Margie, Excuse me,
Yes,
Miss Margie.
ma'am.
I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. That song is so filled with emotion and grief and healing and acceptance. It brought tears to my eyes, and I don't cry.
Well, if you've ever lost anyone close to you, it's a very
it's
been a very, very touching song, and it was written from the heart. That's the one God gave me first after Leon passed away, and he put so many songs in me during that period of time, and I just, yes, it was heartfelt. It was pulling the guts out of me, you know. And I give God all praise. And I'm going to tell you about a new one. Oh, my God, girl, I'll have to tell you about it because it's a story that's going to chill you. And we don't have time to go into it now. But
oh, you're such a teaser.
Well, I'll tell you
are
a quick
such a teaser.
I'll tell you a quick thing on it. My pastor called me. I belong to Holy Ghost Pentecostal Church. He called me one day about a month and a half ago, and he said, Sister Margie, he said, the Lord has put upon my heart to start preaching more about hell. He said, because everybody tells you, feel good about yourself. Just say I love Jesus and go on living their merry way and don't think there's a penalty for living not right. And he said, and God gave me a vision of you up on a hill singing a song about hell. And he said, I want you to write it. I said, oh, my goodness, I can't. What'll I do? And I'm telling you, Yvonne, I didn't write it. It's written down in words that God put into me that I don't even remember getting. And the ending of it was written first, and I found it after I had finished the other part of the song and thinking it needed something else, and I turned the page over, and there it was.
Wow.
I had written the ending of it first, and I say it's incredible because I'm not bragging on myself because I had nothing to do with it. I'm dead serious. God put that song, and I'm going to tell you, I have a feeling that it's going to, I don't predict, but everybody that's heard it has the feeling that this thing, he's making a backboard for the church, and he's going to have strobe lights depicting hell, and he's going to have a video of my video with my song, and he's going to be preaching the wages of sin and hell, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to let you know when we're going to be doing it. I'm in the recording of it right now. It's called Heaven or Hell.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
Heaven or hell, heaven or hell, what will it be? It's up to you to decide. Heaven or hell, make up your mind while you still have time. And then it goes into a very graphic description of what hell is. I can't even conceive having written it, but it is incredible.
I can't wait to play it on the show. It's powerful.
I can't wait for you. It really is. But anyway, that is a teaser. It's coming. As soon as I can get it cut and I'm doing a video on it. I mean, the guy's doing I went over and put just a raw thing down for him to work up on doing a track on it, and I'll go back in and add more instruments and my voice on it, and then we'll do the video. It'll take a few weeks, month maybe or two, but it'll be out, and I'll let you know when it is.
Oh, I cannot wait. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are just turning in, you'll just have to listen to the rest of the show and then go back and listen to the archives, because I've been doing this show a long, long, long time, and I've had many, many guests, artists of all kinds, writers, passionate people, platforms, political causes. But I am talking to a piece of living country music history. This beautiful woman goes way, way back. And she has forgotten probably more than most of us will ever learn. And she is, God willing, will be a regular on this show because I want to learn more of the living history of country music and the stories that she has of how her songs came about, of the journey that she's taken. You can't make this stuff up. Trust me. Am I right, Margie?
Oh, no. You can't. It's life, but it's just my life. But anyway, you as my publisher for my book, you've got to archive this because I got to have all this to put in our book. You
Absolutely.
know what? Do you write them too? Do you put the books down, or do you just publish them? I mean, am I talking to my writer too?
If you want me to write your story, I will write your story. Because I am an author.
You are an author?
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe that's where we start, honey. Maybe I'm not only adopted me a daughter, but a publisher and a writer and the whole bit.
You got it.
Because we have connected here in a godly way, and I give God all the praise for everything that's happened to me. I have failed Him so many times, and we're all sinners saved by the grace of God, and I am saved and sanctified, and I'm ready to go when He calls me because He's been so good to me. He's left me here 12 years longer than the 70 years promised to man,
Well, you know what? I think you still got some unfinished business to take care of because He isn't ready for you yet. And I think part of it may be you and I hooking up.
That may be it, Yvonne. Nothing happens by accident.
No, ma'am, it does not.
I truly believe we were destined to put this off until now because of this new situation that I was supposed to have a CD back several months ago, and it didn't happen. I mean, I've got stuff recorded. It just didn't happen because God didn't want it to. This other thing's got to come out first.
I agree with you. Things happen when they're supposed to. Now, we are
God's
getting...
timing.
Exactly. Believe it or not, Miss Margie, our hour is going to start running out.
I know it's gone already, and I can't believe it.
Yes, ma'am, it has. Now, I want you to know, I sent you a friend request on Margie Singleton Walton. Yes, I sent you a friend request. So when we get off, you can accept it, and we can hook up on your personal page. I have liked your fan page, and that's where I've been sending all the information to today. But I want to bring you back. Yes, ma'am. I want to bring you back in December.
Okay. Well, you got a date?
I'm thinking December the 7th or 8th.
I got my date book. I can't live without my date book. It is so full of stuff. I couldn't. Okay, December the what?
7th or 8th. That's a Friday or Saturday night.
The 7th is Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. So, you want Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day or you want Saturday the 8th?
You tell me which one's good for you, my love.
Why don't we do Friday? The Pearl Harbor Day. That might be a good day.
We will do Friday, December. You are welcome. I'm telling you, you're a regular on this show. You're not going to get away from me that quick because we got too much to do.
Yeah, well, maybe we can get our book written just right here on air.
Now, we'll be swapping phone numbers for that one. So what I want you to do, my sweet one, is to let the folks know where they can find your music and where they can find you.
Okay. They can find my music on CD Baby, Margie Singleton. They can find I have a country album and a gospel album. on the other side of life and country music with soul that they have right now. And they can contact on margiesingletonmusic.com is my website, and they can go to my. How did you get my page there? You said you've been
Facebook
posting
page.
stuff
I just went in the search engine on Facebook.
You said
I just went in the search
page.
engine and typed in Margie Singleton, and your fan page came up.
Well, that's what they can do. Go to the search engine, get on that train, and it'll lead you to me.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't go and like this wonderful woman's page, I'm telling you, you're losing out. If you are a history buff of country music, you want to keep up with this lady because she is totally amazing. And yes, she's coming back. And Miss Margie, you will get a following on this show.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, my goodness, this is awesome. Yes, it is. God is so good. Thank you, Lord, for putting us together.
He is absolutely amazing.
One of the roads that he's putting us on. I believe with all my heart. And I thank you, honey. I thank you so much for being so respectful. I'm really not a household name, as you know. Margie Singleton didn't reach those pinnacles in the public eye, but I do have a huge following of loyal fans who have followed me all my life, and they're coming back to me through the social media. Isn't that incredible?
It's become a very small world, and Miss Margie, you're going to become a household name. I see this for you. Because we're heard in over 200 countries, and like I said at the top of the hour, this show goes up on all different kinds of podcasts and Spotify and iHeartRadio, and now I've got you up on Reverb Nation, and I'm going to put one of your songs up so people can listen and then go find the rest of your albums and buy it. They can't download it. They can't buy it on my site. They can just stream it and listen to it. I'm so evil. I want him to go. I want to
tell you, the first song you played, I Buried Your Memory Alive, that was to come out in the album that was Detained. So it can't be bought yet. So they can
listen to it, and they can get their their appetite wet.
Yeah, and be salivating, waiting on it.
Yeah,
it'll get there.
See, and we can promote it that way. Stay tuned for the album coming out at such and such a time.
Mhm. Thank you, honey. You're just awesome. You're just one. I didn't have a daughter, but I have adopted 2 or 3 daughters, maybe 4, and loads of sons that help me in my music. My sons are incredible. My blood sons are. I have so much. I am so blessed with they watch out for me. I have a balance issue. I get around real well, but my body is like I'm on a ship in a storm most of the time when I'm sitting and walking, and they just lead me around when I'm needed to be led, you know.
Well, hang on just a minute. I don't want you to hang up when the show goes offline because I got some things to tell you. So you just hang on. Yeah, you hang on. Everybody, this is Off the Chain with your host, Yvonne Mason, and my guest, Miss Margie Singleton, a country music artist that has been around for a long, long time. And you know that at the end of every show there are a few things I say, and one of them is this. People will forget your name. They'll forget what you look like. They'll even but they will never, ever, ever forget how you made them feel. And I hope when you leave this show tonight that you understand that you are the most important person in the room. All 200,000 of you, you are the most important person of the room. And remember this, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to achieve greatness, please, please, please stop asking permission. Just go out and get it. And with that being said, I want to say that we will be back here again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time when we will have a author on the show with us. His last name is Spencer. And until then, I want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful good evening. And please go and find Miss Margie Singleton and listen to her music. And check us out on our site, Verb Nation. And with that, this is Yvonne Mason with Off the Chain and my host, Miss Margie Singleton, and we say good evening.
Good evening.
Now, we're off the air. We're no longer live. The show is getting ready to go up into archives. But what I wanted to tell you is when we get off, go ahead and accept my friend request on your personal page, because I am going to put the show up on my page. I'm going to put the link on my page, and I'm going to tag you in it. And then you get to share it with all your network. And then tomorrow, when I put it up on all the 15-plus podcasts that this show goes up on, I will put those links up and tag you. So you're going to be heard everywhere, my darling.
Oh, that is incredible. I hope I didn't say something stupid.
No, ma'am, you were amazing. You were amazing.
I tried to remember not to say something stupid. Sometimes I put my big foot in my mouth, you know.
This is off the chain, remember?
That's right. You're right.
That's why we call it off the chain.
Off the chain. Well, I got to stay in line, you know. I got to remember that I'm talking on the air sometimes. But anyway, you are just wonderful. I'm so happy that you came into my life. Isn't that incredible? Just on the telephone, we made such a spiritual connection, a heartfelt connection, I feel.
I agree. I do. As soon as you said hello, because I'm an empath, I pick up people's feelings and thoughts and their aura. And there's been, my mother is 88 years old and she's in very poor health. And there's been something missing in my life, and I think that I miss my grandmother who helped raise me so much, that you remind me of her and her love of life.
Well, how precious. Well, you're one of mine now. You can't get away from me, so
not a
you
chance.
Just call me Mama. You just call me Mama M. Mama.
Okay.
My grandchildren call me Mama M, but my children call me Mama. Joe Rucker, who is incredible, Scott Sexton. We just did he started doing Country for a Cause several years ago, and this year we did it at Third and Lindsley. It's a venue here in town that's very well thought of, and he did it for the Children's Miracle Network. And the proceeds went to our Vanderbilt Hospital, and we raised almost $15,000.
Wow.
Kelly Lang and T.G. Shepard, they were the host and hostess. And it was just an incredible show. And they raised all that money for it. And the little girl who was the ambassador, she had cancer when she was 11 years old, and she's now 15, and had brain cancer. And she went through living hell. And she is the most precious little girl I've ever seen. And she adopted me, too. I'm her grandma. We got to go eat. She does live close here.
See, there's just something about you, my darling, that
hey, that's a good title for a song. There's just something about you.
That isn't. Write that song.
I'm going to try. There's just something about you.
Yep, write that song.
I'm writing it down now.
I have been told I inspire people, so there's another inspiration.
Listen, I'm serious about the book thing. Are you serious?
I am serious as a heart attack.
Okay.
And that's pretty darn serious.
It is. I'm
so
still
yes,
writing
ma'am.
that title down. Okay, well, I've got a bunch of notes.
If you're in good enough health, you may have to make a trip down to sunny Florida and come stay with me so we can talk.
Yeah. Okay. I'm fit to do that, but I would like to get some shows down there for me and Joe Rucker.
Absolutely.
Me and Joe Rucker and Kyle Kanoth, they are just incredible. Boy, men, Joe Rucker is, look Joe Rucker up on Facebook. Listen to some of his stuff. And he has missed the mark. He's now 40, early 40s, 42, 43. When you get that old, you don't make it.
We need to get him on the show and get him some exposure.
Would you? Yes. Can I tell him to call you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If he's got a Facebook page, tell him to hook up with me on Facebook because I am booking shows for December and next year already.
All right. And now Yvonne Mason is how you are on Facebook, that he can look you up?
Yes, ma'am. When you accept my friend request, you will see the banner has the show on it, but my profile picture is a picture of one of my books, Do You Dare?
Okay. Now just a minute. Let me find where I go to get the. There you are, my sweetheart. Confirm. You are confirmed.
Now we be friends.
We were predestined to be friends.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, we were. Okay, I'm going to tell Joe Rucker to friend you, and I'm going to give him what number, how can he get in touch with you to call you?
He can, what I'll do is I'll send you my phone number.
Okay, and listen, you got a pen, write my number down.
Why don't you message it? Because, see, what will happen is people can hear this in the archives.
Oh, no, we don't want that. We'll do it on Messenger. I'll send you.
There you go. So message it to me, because I don't want some crazy lunatic calling you. I'd have to send my flying monkeys after them.
I thought we were gone off of the archive thing.
Well, see, it's like the outtakes in the movies. When it goes into archives, people can hear what we're and I don't mind because they get to hear things like the inspiration for the song, and that I want Joe Rucker on my song. So sometimes they get little tidbits that they don't normally get. Okay, well I'm gonna tell Joe to send you a friend request, and y'all can exchange on Messenger your numbers. And there
I
you
can
go.
do the same. Okay, well you probably got things to do, and I'm going to start in earnest on my book. I've got some notes down, and Joe's got some notes. He's got a bunch of things that, there's some things you can't really tell all about, because he gets so tickled at me when I'm telling about the funny things that happen on the road, and and you just can't make this stuff up. You can't. After we get off the air, can we be off? I got to get off the air. I got to tell you something real funny, but I can't tell it to people. Well, I can't do it through the show, though. I mean, I can't do it through here. Well, I'll just message you my phone number, and we'll talk tomorrow. Yes. Okay, baby. Well, I love you. Already I love you. And I love your audience. And you take care, and I'll be praying for what's your husband's name? Jack. Jack. I'll be praying for him to have peace in his body, to not hurt. Thank you. We may have things in our bodies. I'm right now got a mass underneath my breastbone, but the doctors sent me to an oncologist the other day, and I thought, an oncologist? That's a cancer doctor. But he was actually a lung cancer doctor, and that wasn't where it is. It's up a lot more in my up my throat. What is that when you have thyroid? Your esophagus. In my thyroid, and they sending me to a thyroid specialist just to get He said he didn't think it was anything, and I don't either. I'm trusting the Lord that it's not. But if it is, it's in God's hands. and I am going to be fine till I get my mission done.
There you go.
My book and this heaven or hell thing. It's going to be incredible. And so I go to a thyroid specialist oncologist to get an ultrasound next week. And
Keep
we'll
me
know
updated.
exactly.
We got things to do, my darling.
We've got things to do, and it may be that I do have to come to Florida to expedite getting the book situation.
We can do it.
You know? Yeah. You can put up with me?
Of course.
I don't know. I'll talk to you later, honey. I know you got
All right,
to go.
sweetheart. Have a good evening. And thank you.
You too, and thank you. You have just you just are incredible. You're just so good, and I'm just so honored and blessed that Michael got us in touch.
Me too. Thank you, Michael Stover.
Yes, thanks. And he got the sweet. Are you on his Facebook? He's got the sweetest little girl, Callie.
Yep. She's a cutie pie.
Isn't she something? She makes my heart happy just to see her because she's always smiling. Except she was sick the other day, the first time I didn't see her smile. Well, I'll talk to you later, and I love you, and God bless you.
And ditto. Love you, and God bless you, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, honey. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.